What's up, guys? The Catalyst47 here, back with another video. So guys, for today's video, I'm gonna make this one quick. I didn't want to do like it's really just a quick update to my Burning Abyss deck. This is what I've been running, what I ran at locals today. Wait, I forgot to add in the side deck here, but yeah, this is the deck I've been ran today. I made some few changes to the list from my last update, and I really wanted to show you guys because I feel like this, the way I have it now, the changes I made, it's not big changes, but it really has I feel like there's a big difference, even though I didn't make that many changes. And I definitely did a lot better than last time. In the last, I think I mentioned this in my previous video, in the last locals last week, I literally went lost both my first rounds, and no, I lost first round 1 second, and third round I lost, so I just kind of dropped out. Yeah, so most of these locals are like 4 or 5 rounds, and then today I started theorizing because I was following almost the exact same list that Drew was running, but I guess maybe for me, the way I felt it, I'm sure for him, if it works fine for him, then maybe, and he's a different player, he's probably better than I am with the deck, so maybe I wasn't utilizing my resources well enough. But I decided to make a few changes, and today I definitely did better. I went X2, which it's not great because I didn't top, but I definitely felt like these games were actually a lot closer. I didn't get blown out. I didn't get 2-0'd. My first game, round 1, I played against Tri Brigade Branded, which I won 2-1. Second round I played Salad. I 2-0'd. Third round I played PK, which I got. It was 1-2, so they won 2. We went to game 3, and saying round 4 it was Dogmatica Despia, and again I got 1-2. So I lost those last 2 rounds, kind of sucks, but I still think going to game 3, and really honestly it was very close. It wasn't like I got hard stomped. All these games were all pretty close. I think this deck can definitely compete with the meta, and I know I made a few misplays, so I think that I could have. Some of the things that happened, it was just really hard to play around, because game 3 against PK and game 3 against basically my 3rd and 4th round, both game 3s, even though I have 15 going second cards in the deck, against the Dogmatica Despia, I drew no hand traps going, because I was going second game 3. And then against PK also, game 3, I was going second. I drew 1 hand trap, which is Ash. Against PK, it's not going to do anything. So I didn't draw a second hand trap or droplet, or even though I kept all those cards, and I added in Lancia against the PK guy. So it's just, I know it's part of the game, so it sucks, it's unfortunate, but I definitely do think the deck can definitely compete against the meta when it's, ran by a good pilot. So I guess with all that information out of the way, let's get right into the deck profile. So we got, of course, the Burning Abyss monsters. We got 3 Graph, 3 Seer, and 3 Skarm. These are all the 3 ofs that I play. Again, there's nothing changed from my previous list. These are all very good monsters. And you really need to see 2 names at least in order to play, which is why I mentioned that in my previous video. That's why we have all these at 3. And it's worked out pretty well, even though you don't really want to sometimes see Seer in your opening hand. It still has worked out really well. Because you play so many names too, seeing Seer is not that bad, because milling with Dante, you're almost guaranteed to hit something with this amount of BAs in the deck. For the 2 ofs, we're playing 2 Farfa and 2 Alec. I did, like I said, I was waiting for the second one to get here, and I did decide to add it in. So yeah, I'm playing these at 2. Farfa, of course, good interruption. Alec can be a good interruption as well, since most of the decks, like the Despia stuff, you can chain to Branded Fusion, or you can chain Beatrice to that one. What's that one card? The Branded Opening, or the one that special summons from you can add it to your deck, or from your deck, or special summon it. So if you chain that stuff, then you can send Alec, and then on a new chain link, whenever the monsters get summoned, you can then negate their effects. So pretty good stuff. And then Farfa, of course, get interruption. So I think because Alec comes up more, I think having 2 is good, and it's a different name, of course, so it's good. And then now the 1 ofs, we got 1 Libic, one Barbar, one Cow Cab, and then I decided to actually add in one Draghi. No one really plays this one that much. Drew was playing it in one of his, I guess, he was changing the deck throughout his time, and he added in for a little while, added this one in, but he ended up taking it out. But I decided to actually add this card in because you really, really want to see 2BAs. Honestly, even though Rhino Warrior is better than Tour Guide, I feel like people are still running enough like imperms and Veilers that if they imperm or Veiler Rhino, you also just can't play. And even though Rhino is better than Tour Guide in the sense that it's less vulnerable to hand traps, the fact that imperm and Veiler can still basically end your turn, I just feel like having more BA names is honestly better because they can't stop. Like, if you have two BA names, your effects, if you're going first, they can't just stop the two BAs from being summoned, you know? So that's guaranteed stuff. And then obviously the support cards. So I cut the Rhino Warrior down to 2 to fit in that other, to fit in Draghi. And then the 2 Tour Guides. So now I'm playing 2 and 2. Just because, like I said, because all these hand traps, I just feel like these cards are not as good. But you do want follow up for like Tour Guide off of Skarm or something. Or if you mill Rhino Warrior, he's still a good card to mill. You can just send another card that you need. So I think 2 and 2 has worked out better for me. Even though it does hurt the deck's consistency a little bit because not having 3 Rhino Warrior makes it a little less viable for you to get to Graph. Because that's what Rhino Warrior really is. It's just another copy of Graph, to be honest. So yeah, I think that the 2 Rhino Warrior, I just find it more important right now to actually be able to get 2 BAs on board. And if this gets Imperm or Veiler, then you need to get to Dante like on your opening turn. So that's why I decided to cut down to 2 and add in the 1 Draghi. So of course then the 1 Snow, just a really good interruption, easy to get to the graveyard with Beatrice. So I feel like it's a must in this deck now. And you mill a lot, so it's pretty easy to get the cards required. Now going for this, the going second cards, we got triple Ash, triple Ghost. But yeah, that's something else I added into the deck now. I added in a bit more hand trap because I was only playing 13 before, but now I'm playing 3 Bell instead of 2. 3 Imperm and 2 Veiler. So these are the hand traps. You can't really play Nib or Gamma in this deck. I feel like they conflict with the DBAs too much. So yeah, very important. It hits almost everything in the meta, or everything, honestly. Imperm Veiler, it's good against Anaconda. It can help you, like, negate Griffin, basically like a trade of 1-for-1. Bell, of course, hurts Despia, hurts Trap Brigade with like their Revolt and all that stuff. So these cards all, I feel like, hit the meta in general, and I don't feel like Veiler. I mean, it's a good card, but it just kind of sucks that Veiler you cannot use it on your turn. So I like the flexibility of Imperm better. So that's why I didn't have space to add in more hand traps. So that's it. 11 of those hand traps, and then of course the last going second card, we got triple Droplet. Just very good in this deck. Droplet, like sending your BAs, you don't even neg because your BA effects trigger. So Droplet, I think it's a must. Helps break boards. And then I had to cut down. I cut down one Prosperity for the for basically to be able to put in the third Ghost Spell. Ghost Spell. So I think I forgot if in my last list, I'll look back, but I think I was playing Ghost Ogre, so I decided to cut the Ghost Ogre for the Veilers just because, almost all the cards that hit the Adventure package, almost all the hand traps that I have in the deck are a way to hinder the Adventure package, so I feel like Ghost Ogre, it was really only there for the Adventure package, so I think that since you already play these other cards, I feel like Veiler is just better against other decks that are not adventure-based. So That's why I decided to cut the Ghost Ogres for Veilers, and then, oops, sorry guys. And then, like I said, I cut down 1 Prosperity for the 3rd Bell. I just feel like Bell is too good right now, and Prosperity, it happens a lot to me, where I have Prosperity, and then one of the cards that gets revealed off Prosperity is another Prosperity, because I almost always just banish for 3. In this deck, you hardly ever banish for 6. And revealing another Prosperity is just lame because you can't use it, so I feel like just 2 is good enough, and it's worked out well for me. I don't ever want to see multiples of this card, so I think 2 is just the better number. And last but not least, the 2 1-ofs, 1 Called By and 1 Foolish. Like I said, Foolish can be a starter or interruption, because you can send like Graphs to start your plays, or you can send like a Cal Captive Bounce Up to set back row, send an Alec to negate a monster on board. So, you know, it's a pretty good card. And then, of course, Called By to help. It's a good going first or second card, so why not? So that's basically it, guys. I made those small changes to the main deck, like I told you guys. Extra deck, you know, Beatrice, 2 Dante, and the purple Dante for the BAs, or the BA cards. Yeah, I think this is like, honestly, even though I do think this should be enough most of the time, sometimes I do really wish I could play the 3rd Dante, but this extra deck space is super tight. So, because I go through 2 Dantes like really fast. Like, sometimes you can even make 2 Dantes in 1 turn, so it kind of like, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I do want to run a 3rd one, but I don't have the space for it. So these are the Dantes, so that's all very typical. Then we got the 1 Fortune Tune. Basically the Zeus stuff, so 2 Downard. I took out that 3rd Dante that I had in my last video profile, and then 2 Zeus. So this is honestly what I think makes the deck pretty playable. The 2 Downard, 2 Zeus is just really good in the grind game. And then the Fortune Tune is just another card to help you get into Zeus if you can't like run over something. So I think pretty standard stuff in this deck. And then the links, access code, and then the Nightmare package being Unicorn, Phoenix, and with the IP. So these are all honestly pretty standard in BA in my opinion. Access code can help you with the OTKs. IP is just basically one of the cards that you want to end your board on if you're going first. And then of course you can use IP to go into Phoenix or Unicorn. So pretty good stuff. Oops. But yeah, those are all very, I think, standard. And then of course the Cherubini and the Dark. So Dark, of course, to help take your opponent's DPE, and Cherubini is just really good for link climbing and getting into the big monsters. And of course it's a BA, so you can just summon it back with like Seer or something. So pretty good stuff. So that's it for the extra deck. And now I did make a few changes in this side deck. I think I was only playing 2 Lance before, but now I'm playing 3. 3 Lance on the side. That's it. Oh, that's it for the... Actually, no. I'm tripping. The other monsters, we got 2 DD Crow and 1 Token Collector. I just couldn't fit in more cards right now. But I took out the Zombie World package just because I know it's good against like Flu and some other decks, but I feel like I haven't really faced much Flu or anything in my locals, so I decided to put in like DD Crow for like, you know, it's not like a huge impact hand trap, but it can be against certain decks. So, and Token Collector, just because easy to send out Beatrice. I think you only need 1. Or if you mill it off Dante, it's not even a big deal. Like, you know, it's a good card to be in your graveyard too. So, that's it for the monsters. The back row hate, of course, we got 3 Lightning Storm and 3 Twin. So, basically, back row or monster removal, and then, of course, back row removal. So, yeah, I think it's pretty standard, honestly. BA's discard a card doesn't even hurt this deck. So. And then last but not least, going first cards, we got triple Anti-Spell. So, still playing this. I might end up cutting this in the future for something like D-Barrier. But, because it's a good card. Like, this is an amazing card. But if you don't draw at turn 1, and you've already set up your board, it conflicts with the BAs too much, because you can't use their special summon effect if you control a spell or trap, so... that kind of sucks. So yeah, I might change this for like D-Barrier or something, since it could stop turns against certain decks too. So that's it, guys. That's the updated Burning Abyss deck profile. This has worked a lot better for me personally than the list that I was using before. And I really like it so far. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you did, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.